Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we are Tiffany and Craig from High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, marketers, and creators step up their social media game and break the algorithm. And now we're really talking about the algorithm in this video.
Finally.
This is the long-awaited video. You have all asked us about this. This has been our number one question, probably our top 3 question for sure.
Easily.
Over the last few months, over the last 6 months, and it's how many hashtags should you be using on your posts on Instagram? Now, 6 months ago, Instagram released this. They dropped this groundbreaking post.
Yes.
You know, it's like iOS press release, as we like to say, basically.
It basically
It's
was.
like an Instagram press release on how many hashtags you should use per post. So we actually covered that video here. The overall piece of it that really stood out and that really like shaked everyone up was that they said that you should use 3 to 5 hashtags per post. Now, us and many were Team 30. This was the first time we were hearing about this 3 to 5 thing, right? They explicitly also said that like using 10 to 20 hashtags would not further increase your distribution at all. So stick to that 3 to 5. This was huge news.
Huge. And in your caption too, they said.
And in your caption. And they also mentioned to put in your caption as well. So yeah, this was huge news. And of course, everybody has been asking us about what we thought about it. Of course, we gave our initial thoughts, but we needed to test it for ourselves. We did not want to give you information or any feedback on it without actually having done it, you know?
Exactly. Like a quantitative analysis that we can actually, we run the numbers and be like, this is the results. And we finally got to it.
Exactly. So without further ado, we are going to jump into our thoughts, our research. We're going to break down our research for you. Scientists over here. We put on our scientist hats over here, you know, data analysts, okay? And we're going to give you all the details, all the information on how many hashtags you should be using on Instagram based on our research. Let's get started.
Okay, so how did we approach it? So what we decided to do was take posts, 40 posts from our clients' accounts, and that's why we're actually not going to release the individual data points because they aren't really ours to share, so we're keeping their privacy nice and tight there. But basically what we did from October 2021, after the announcement, we took the last 20 posts with 30 hashtags, and then we took the newest 20 posts with 3 to 5 hashtags, and we actually ran the data points. So that meant going into the insights on each individual post where it says view insights, and we actually took the impressions from hashtags. That was the key number that we ran with here, and we did it manually for all of those posts. For the latest 20 posts, we actually really kept in line with what Instagram suggested, was to use the mixed volume hashtag, so mostly the niche and what we would call the medium, which we have talked about at length in this video here. We didn't change up the strategy because we did want to actually empirically see how it performed in comparison to what we used to do, which was use our hashtag strategy in that video as well, where we broke it down into 30. So we did exactly what Instagram said, and we also put it in the caption as opposed to the comments. So we did not deviate from that, so we can actually get an accurate representation of the two approaches.
I will say the 3 to 5 is cleaner.
Way cleaner.
So that's the thing too. So I did like the aesthetic of it.
At first I didn't, but now I do.
But technically aesthetics matter, but like the optimization matters. But I did like the look of it.
Yes, agreed.
So one key consideration here, though, is that we left out Instagram Reels, and that's just because Instagram is not reporting those insights in terms of how much reach your hashtags are getting. So that's something to consider that we also want to just include in our data points here.
And to add to that, some posts actually had no reach or no impressions, from hashtags. So if there was actually no data there, we would skip that post.
In the end, we found that using 30 hashtags drove 600% more impressions on the post versus posts that had 3 to 5 hashtags only.
Yes.
That is to say, using 30 hashtags provided more reach on the post compared to 3 to 5. So that is your answer in terms of what we saw when we tried to compare these posts to see if using 3 to 5 hashtags was either the same, either better. That was one thing we wanted to see. Is it better for some reason? And really it kind of makes sense where it's just like the more hashtags you're using, the more reach you should get.
In the comments, people had a lot of theories and they were super interesting. And it could have been any of them. People were suggesting that because Instagram maybe thought there were too many posts clogging up the hashtags, they thought like, you know what, if we keep everybody to 3 to 5, then you won't be sort of having these posts in more hashtags, which is probably true.
Yeah.
And another thought that some folks were saying that maybe the actual algorithm did change to specifically favor posts that had 3 to 5 hashtags in the caption as opposed to the comments, which we had historically recommended. So with those theories in mind, I kind of didn't know which way this would have gone. You know, I could qualitatively predict, I thought it was performing about the same for the most part, but I really hadn't studied it and paid attention yet because I knew we were going to do this. So I was a little shocked that it was at that level, like 600% is quite high.
Yeah.
Did you expect it to be that much?
Yeah, I would say so. I expected that unless the algorithm had changed specifically, that it only made sense that when you add more of something, you should see more reach from it.
Fair.
And the other thing to consider, though, and I think this could be a reason why that 3 to 5 is coming in, is because so many people are bombarding their posts with non-relevant hashtags.
Right.
So this could be a way to encourage people to use relevant hashtags. I believe now, especially even looking at the way the content performed, was if you do use 30 relevant hashtags, you should see the increase. I think the reason why hashtags don't work well for a lot of people is because they're focusing on getting 30, so just the quantity of hashtags versus the quality.
Yeah.
So maybe in the end, 20 to 30 makes sense for you if in the end you can find specifically 20 relevant hashtags that are high performing and make sense for your account.
I think that also explains why, like, the ones that didn't perform at all, sometimes maybe people are using too many of, like, the ones with 4 million impressions all over our uses of those hashtags and stuff, like just not really getting that mix right, like you said. And also, so it's the mix of them, the large, the medium, and the small, the niche, or actually using the wrong one. So it's super interesting, and I kind of do feel like it's pretty telling. Like, the results are dictated by the strategy and how serious people take it, because it is a bit of work to do it now. A lot of the hashtags, searching tools are being taken away now, or at least they're not working like they used to. So it is a bit more effort to find the right hashtags. So maybe people weren't putting in that effort and they noticed it. I actually really did think my prediction before all of this was that the algorithm did change, because I feel like we've said this before, when they announce stuff, it usually means like this is what's happening. And it is probably the first time where it's been a lot more cut and dry, where they've said to do this, but the previous way of doing it, I would say that would be significantly better. So that's an interesting result.
And again, this is from our research with our accounts too. So that's something to always consider. It's what we saw. So 30 might not work for everybody, but it's what's working that we're seeing with our clients and our accounts. So you have to do your own research. So when we're thinking about how many hashtags should you be using on Instagram, you should perform the same test that we did.
Yes. So
you should be looking at, okay, I'm going to put out a bunch of posts. I'm going to put 5 hashtags on this set. I'm going to put 10 on this set, 20 on this set, 30 on this set. Once I've published all these posts, I'm going to go into my insights and do the exact same thing that Craig and Tiffany did. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to look and see, like, how many impressions am I getting? Like, what formula is working the best for me? And then that's what you should be applying to your strategy.
Yes.
So you might find that 30, and for us, again, it made sense. And actually later also did a study. And in later study, they found that 20 hashtags increased the reach on the post. This is over 18 million posts that they actually studied. Yeah. They found that 20 hashtags positively impacted the reach, and 30 hashtags positively impacted the engagement. So again, not in this 3 to 5, so it's the same thing that we found.
Yes.
So we don't want to dictate to you, but if we're finding this, Later's finding this, who's arguably a very large and has access to a lot of data, if they're finding the similar number as well, it's something to consider. If you don't feel like doing your own research, our recommendation is to go somewhere in this 20 to 30 mark at least.
Exactly right. So with all of that in mind, another thing I have seen a lot of is people saying that hashtags are essentially dead, they're pointless, they don't really do anything. Should people still be using hashtags on their Instagram posts, Tiffany?
I would say, thank you for throwing it to me.
You're welcome.
I would definitely say yes, hashtags still work. If you're wondering if hashtags still work, they do. You just need to use the right ones. And again, focus on the quality of the hashtag, not the quantity of hashtags that you're using. We have a hashtag strategy video that we'll link over there for you to check out as well. But that's something to consider, is that hashtags they work, but they're not the only part of your strategy. Like even when we found, and we were going through really deep diving and going through all the insights, for some of the accounts and some of these posts, the hashtags, they contributed, but they're not the main contributing factor, right?
For the most part.
Exactly, because what matters most, of course, is the content. That's going to be the number one thing, period, is, oh, sorry, I tapped you there.
No, I tapped you.
That's going to be the most important factor of all, is what you're actually producing, because that's going to make people interested, in addition to the other optimization techniques that we've also discussed in this video, which we will pop up for you there. There are certain ways to optimize your post for success, and hashtags are just one long-term strategy encompassed in everything else. When you start thinking about the fact that Instagram is going to start bringing in SEO, which they actually already have, bringing in these keyword searches, hashtags provide information, but there's all these different elements that you can do to your post to provide information in order to help it reach more people. So it's one element, so it's not like you need to obsess completely over it, and if it makes and breaks you, but it can really help you. Don't think of it though as the only thing that's going to make your post do well. Content is always going to be the number one without question. That's key. And consistency, and a bunch of other factors that we talk about all the time on the channel.
Exactly.
All right, guys, that is it. That is finally our study, the high season seal study on how many hashtags you should be using on Instagram, or basically telling you how many hashtags we're going to be using on Instagram. We're done. We feel good going forward. We've already started. We're back at it with our 30 hashtags per post. Maybe sometimes 25. It depends. And there's also things to consider, like branded tags that go in there and all of that jazz. But in the end, we're back at it. We're past the 3 to 5 now. It was cool. It looked pretty and all. But, you know, like, we're all about optimization here. So that's what we're going to be doing going forward.
Yes.
So let us know what you think. Please go out, test for yourself. If you've already been doing this and you've seen a change by using the 3 to 5, or by you've been staying with your 30, or whatever's working for you, drop it below. And maybe you'll help somebody else out too. So whatever resources you have that you can share with others, definitely drop it in the comment section below. And also, if you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, I'd love to. We're always in the comments. We try to answer it every single day. And you guys are really, you guys encourage us to do this and to stay on it. Sorry it took so long. Things are pretty hectic. We do run the agency.
6 months is comprehensive.
There was that too. Yeah. Like, we didn't want to do it after 2 weeks and then just give you guys some sort of average answer.
Hey, we did 3 posts, and this is what we noticed from the 3 posts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We want to do a decent chunk for you. Not quite 18 million, but enough to give you an idea. So I hope that helped. Please let us know, and maybe if there's enough questions, we can even do a follow-up or anything like that. Or maybe we should do a live or something on Instagram.
Yeah, we could do a live. I've also thought about refreshing and doing like another new hashtag video maybe, or something.
Maybe we might need to, because I was actually thinking it might be a bit confusing for everyone now, because we had the last one, which is say to use 3 to 5, even though we were just passing on Instagram's information. And then obviously the previous 2 hashtag videos
always said 30.
Always to use 30. So we don't want you guys to be confused, but unfortunately for, I guess, us, it's the content creators, that this world changes constantly and we just got to keep moving with the time. So maybe we might make a more, hey, this is our 2022 hashtag strategy video.
Period.
After this information, but we wanted to deliver this stuff to you guys in a very specific video so that we can answer all those questions, and then maybe we'll do another one. Let us know if that would be valuable as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere at High Season Co, and you can check out our blog post at highseasonco.com. We will see you in the next video.
Peace.
Bye.